On April 7, 2026, NASA released something extraordinary. 76 photographs, taken by 4 human beings who had just done something no person had done in over 50 years. Flown to the moon, and what they captured with their cameras, from behind the moon, from the far side, from places no human eye had ever seen before, is unlike anything NASA has ever released. These are not renders, not simulations, not artist impressions. Every single image in this video was taken by a real human being, floating in a spacecraft, farther from Earth than anyone in history. I'm going to show you the 15 most incredible photos from the Artemis II lunar flyby, and explain exactly what you're looking at in each one, because most people have seen these images scroll past on social media without truly understanding what they're seeing. By the end of this video, you will. Let's start with the one that stopped scientists in their tracks. This is Earth setting behind the moon. 6:41 in the evening. April 6th, 2026. That thin blue crescent is our entire planet. 8 billion people, every ocean, every country, disappearing behind the lunar horizon. The dark half of Earth you can see on the left is experiencing nighttime right now. The brighter side on the right, that's daylight over Australia and Oceania. And that cratered terrain in the foreground, that's the moon's surface. Specifically, a crater called Ohm. Those raised peaks in the center formed when the ground literally bounced back up from the force of an ancient asteroid impact. Nobody had ever photographed this exact view before this moment. This was taken through the window of the Orion spacecraft by a human hand as they flew past the moon at over 60,000 miles per hour. In the first, the moon fills the entire frame. Earth is tiny in the background, a small crescent of blue barely visible against the black. In the second, Earth is getting closer to the lunar edge, 6 minutes before it disappears completely. In the third, Earth is almost gone, just a sliver of blue light peeking over the moon's horizon. This is Earthset, our entire planet setting behind the moon, the same way the sun sets on Earth every evening. Except here, it's not the sun disappearing, it's home. The last time any human watched Earth set behind the moon was 1972. That was 54 years ago. These 3 photos show it happening again, second by second, as 4 astronauts watch their entire world slowly vanish behind the lunar surface. This photo was taken from the far side of the moon. That tiny sliver of light in the upper left, that's Earth. From here, our planet looks smaller than a fingernail. This is what total isolation looks like. Behind the moon, out of contact, 252,756 miles from home, and Earth is just a crescent, barely visible against the darkness. Now this, the moment the crew described as going, quote, sci-fi. The moon completely blocking the sun for 54 minutes. That glowing ring around the dark lunar disk, that's the sun's corona, the outer atmosphere of our star, normally invisible because the sun itself is too bright to look at. From behind the moon, with the sun blocked, it revealed itself completely. Now look at the second photo. This one was taken by a camera mounted on Orion's solar array wing, from outside the spacecraft. You can see the Orion spacecraft itself on the left side of the frame, and look carefully at the bottom right of the moon. That bright dot just below the edge, that's Saturn, and that bright spot on the far right of the image, that's Mars. In one single photograph, the moon, the sun's corona, Saturn, Mars, and the Orion spacecraft, all in one frame. This photo was taken at 6:41 in the evening. 3 minutes later, all contact with Earth went silent. Look at how small home has become. That tiny crescent of blue in the top left, barely visible, that's every person you've ever known, every city, every ocean, every country, getting smaller. The moon's surface now fills the entire frame, massive, ancient, covered in craters formed by billions of years of asteroid strikes. And Earth, the place these 4 people launched from just 5 days ago, is now so far away it barely registers in the frame. 3 minutes after this photo was taken, it disappeared completely. Now we get close, really close. These 4 photos show the moon's surface in detail no human had ever seen from this angle before. Look at the craters, hundreds of them, each one formed by an asteroid strike, some billions of years old. That dark line cutting across the surface, that's the terminator, the boundary between lunar day and night. where sunlight hits at a low angle and casts long dramatic shadows across the terrain, revealing every ridge, every crater edge, every ancient scar in ways that flat overhead light never could. This is what 3 hours into the far side flyby looked like. No atmosphere, no erosion, no weather, every impact preserved perfectly, like a record of every collision the moon has ever survived. The South Pole Aitken Basin you can see in one of these images is the largest and oldest crater on the entire moon, over 1,500 miles wide, billions of years old, and one astronaut photographed it with a handheld camera through a spacecraft window. This is Oriental. The crater Commander Wiseman described as looking like a pair of lips kissing the far side of the moon. 600 miles wide, one of the youngest and best preserved large impact craters on the entire lunar surface. That dark patch in the center, ancient lava, billions of years old, punched through the moon's crust by the force of the original impact and then solidified. The rings surrounding it formed like ripples in water, except the water was molten rock, and it froze in place before the ripples could collapse. No human had ever seen this crater in this detail with their own eyes before April 6, 2026. And then there's this. After all the craters, the eclipse, the darkness, the silence. Meet the 4 people who took every single photo in this video. Christina Koch, Jeremy Hansen, Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover. In the first photo, wearing eclipse glasses. Behind the moon, watching the sun disappear, smiling. The first humans to wear eclipse glasses at the moon. In the second, a selfie, taken midway through their 7-hour observation of the lunar surface. 4 people crammed into a spacecraft the size of a large camper van, having the time of their lives. This is what historic looks like from the inside. Not just data, not just mission objectives. 4 human beings, floating behind the moon, pausing to take a selfie. 3 worlds, 1 photograph. On the left, the Orion spacecraft, lit by the sun. Center, the moon, and that tiny crescent on the right edge, disappearing behind the lunar horizon. That's Earth, the spacecraft, the moon, home, all in one frame. This is what the work actually looked like. Victor Glover and Christina Koch pressed against the windows of Orion, cameras in hand, staring at the lunar surface passing below them. For 7 hours, they took turns at these windows, photographing, observing, describing what they saw out loud to scientists back on Earth. Every single photo in this video was taken from this position. A human face, a camera, a window, and on the other side of that glass, the moon. And we end here, Earth. Not the big blue marble you've seen in textbooks, not the full globe from Apollo, just a crescent, half in light, half in darkness, seen from the moon. This is the last thing the Artemis II crew saw before turning Orion around and beginning the long journey home. 4 people, looking back at everything they had ever known, getting smaller behind them,